Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas. And today I have with me Isabela Rodriguez, COO at Domu.ai. Isabela, how's it going?
Really good, Tony. Thank you so much for having me at this
My
podcast. It's really great
my
to see you again.
pleasure. My pleasure. So it looks like you're in San Francisco, uh,
Yes.
which I lived in Berkeley for a year. So very familiar
Okay.
with the area. So we're recording October 9th. Are you guys having like the weird little summer like San Francisco summer is like super late?
Yes, well, actually last week it was like a blast of like super warm weather. And now it's really cold. So it
So it
depends
lasted a week.
on the week. It lasted a long time from like
Okay.
June to September, and now it's going like back and forth, warm and cold.
Okay. Okay. So for the listeners, so I met Isabella at Indie Tech a couple of weeks ago in Indianapolis. And as you might expect, I talk to a lot of insurtechs, right? I talk to every insurtech, whoever has a kiosk at any conference I go to, and I go to a lot of conferences, and then I talk to uh, any insurtech that I see them on LinkedIn, and I reach out and I invite them on the podcast. And I've got to say, it's not often that I hear like completely new things that I have never seen in our world of insurance. So so I was very impressed by what you guys are doing. Now I haven't seen it in action, so I want to be clear on that. But if like the promise is, if like the product is anywhere near what you guys are saying it is, this is revolutionary. So with that grandiose introduction, uh, we always give the guest a chance to give the elevator pitch. What is Domu.ai?
Thank you, Tony. Um, it's a really good question. So basically, just really quick story about myself. My dad used to work at banks, then insurance company. I've always been really near the industry, so I've always seen the pain of like having call centers, people calling you, selling insurance. And you know how the industry is like super old, and finally with AI and the wave of AI coming, we saw this huge opportunity about like a year and a half ago, and we started talking to all great leaders at insurance, and it was always the pain of people telling us like, like there's a lot of call centers, and it's always like a pain to train them. It's always hard to get new customers, understand property and casualty lines, especially because of like compliance and stuff. So we started saying, okay, it's time to get really well done and start to make most of it and really good at using technology to automate distribution channels. So basically, what we do at Domo is that we automate communications, and our software does all the back office for financial services. So what this means is that instead of, for example, you calling to get an insurance policy, it would be us taking the call for cases of knowing why are you interested, if you have any questions, if you have any objections. We manage all communications across different platforms. So our main focus is using via calls, and then we can connect to different channels. So email, SMS, and basically our ultimate goal is to provide a seamlessly interaction between a human, their needs, and our service as like always being available to suit customer needs.
Okay. Okay. Um, so the main focus on voice calls.
That's
Okay.
correct.
So historically, during my 20 years in the US, um, voice interactions with automated services. have been uh, horrifically painful. Basically, I spend most of my time hitting 0 pound and saying operator, operate, representative, representative, right, and trying to get a human on the line. Uh, so how is that different now with your technology?
Yeah. That's the thing. Basically, we have seen people, as you were saying, like pressing pound. You don't have to press pound anymore. We would take the call. We would understand. So who you are, why are you calling? We take that data. Why are you interested? What are you looking for? And then we use that data to provide an insurance policy that suits your needs. And also, we have different use cases. So that's one use case. And for insurance companies, we can trigger calls every time someone gets into their website and does a quote. We would trigger a call in real time and ask the person, why are you interested? Do you have any questions about the policy? This is mainly for personal lines. We don't do commercial lines that much. We focus a lot on property and casualty, property and casualty. So anything that is auto insurance, home insurance, health, Medicare is now. We take all that data and ask people right away. And it's a really like super simply interaction in which I'm like, hey, Tony, how old are you? How are you? And you can, based on the context, interact with our bot. And the bot will not just go over by a script, but can provide answers based on what you are telling the bot.
Okay. Um, within the PNC space, with as it is right now, I'm sure that it keeps improving. But as it is right now, what percentage of calls uh, ne with your technology never need a human, like are completed with the bot?
That's really a great question. And it's like, what is our margin of error? Right now, we measure it by the percentage of transfers calls, so the percentage of calls that need to be transferred to an agent. And right now, that metric is 1.5% of our calls are are managed by us, and 1.1 we can cut that.
Well,
But
1.5%
1.5%
actually
are
go
the
to a
ones that
human.
are that go to a human if the bot cannot um handle the conversation.
Okay, so already with the technology as it exists today within PNC personal lines, um, 98.5% of calls are successfully handled by the system.
Yeah, it depends on the use case.
Uh-huh.
So we have seen a lot of screeners and openers. So we know that in insurance, like sales agents are really regulated. So what we do is to be a support for them. So do the screening part of why is the person interested, if they're able to buy, and all of that success, we transfer like 90% of the call to the sales agent to close the sale. So it's like not end-to-end sale, but actually like with most of our clients, they prefer like just going through all the people because we have contactability, like high contactability rates, because a person cannot do 150 calls or like deploy like um simultaneously like thousands of calls. We can do that. So we can do that, get to know the person and then transfer that data to the sales agent so they just close and sell the policy, which is what the time that matters the most for them.
Okay, so basically I'm guessing the numbers here, but so correct me with kind of the real numbers. But I'm guessing I've never been an agent. I've always been carrier side and then insurtech side and recruiting. So, but I never sold insurance. But I'm
Hmm.
guessing in the traditional way, my agent spent on average 15-20 minutes on the phone, and then maybe gets a sale, right? That close is probably going to be 20-25%, uh, depending on rates and stuff. Uh, doing it this way. my expensive licensed agent is only getting involved the last 5 minutes of the call.
Exactly. Exactly. And our calls last like 1 minute and a half. It's not like because you already fill out a form and we take that form, so we already know you. We already know what you're looking for. So the call would be like 90 seconds in which we are just making sure that you understand what you're getting, that you don't have any questions, and that you are ready to buy or that we can assist as fast as possible so we
Mm.
can transfer the call to an agent and close the sale really fast.
Okay, so that's if they're coming in through our website, basically.
Yes.
What if they're coming in through a call? Like the first contact is a call.
Yeah, that's our inbound. So that's when
Mm.
someone is for servicing. And basically they would call and immediately we can take that call, answer any question. And if the bot is not able to answer, then we could live transfer the call to a available agent that can like take it to a next level. But most of the servicing, like as it's like one, press two, a bot can be trained to have all the knowledge and answer all of the questions. And then most of the times it's really easy because it's most of the same question over and over. So most of the times we handle those calls and the transfers are not needed that much. Only if it's like comply in terms of like claims or something that we would actually need to make a transfer.
Okay. What is the implementation like? So we bring you in. How long does it take? How does it plug into the systems?
Yes. We try to, and that's mainly one of the reasons clients likes us really. It's because we try to start with low integrations because we know that integrations takes a lot of time most of the time. So we start as simple as you guys can. So we start with a sample and like lists of people to call to start giving results fast. So we would receive all the data, scripts, and we would create flows, train our bot ourselves, show it to our client, making sure like compliance it's getting done and like they approve it. And once they approve, we start iterating, doing A/B testing, trying different stuff. And we would be in production for around 3 weeks to a month, like training the bot and making internally different trials. So for example, we use conversations in which like one bot is talking to another bot to try and test. And then we would go live in the second month and start going with the clients.
Okay, so within a month, it can be actually functioning.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. We, um, so we've been improving our systems. The carrier world in general has been the agencies also uh, getting better and better systems. Where do we have to be when it comes to our systems to be able to use this? A lot of carriers are in the process of transitioning to Guidewire and Duck Creek as their policy management systems.
Mhm.
Do they already have to be fully implemented in that, or are you able to plug into our old systems? Uh, yeah, where do we have to be with our technology to be able to bring this in?
Yeah, it's really easy. We can integrate to your guys' APIs, and we do have an API that it's really accessible, and we can transfer data via webhooks, and that can be always like receiving data, so it's easy to transfer information. That's why we're really flexible on technology. Like we are fully capable of any integrations for the moment. But as we know, the industry sometimes it takes a lot of time. We like not making a lot of effort in the engineering team, but us taking care of all of that. So we start as fast as we can.
Okay. What is the pricing like? And I don't need like specific numbers. More like what is the design of the pricing? Is it per call or like kind of how is the pricing designed?
That's a really good question. It depends on the volume. So we have depending on the amount of volume, right now we're doing like thousands of calls, if not millions, um, monthly. So depending on the amount of volume, then the cost per minute would be cheaper. So if you do from around, we start from 10,000 calls monthly, so it makes sense. And then the more you add volume and the more we give results, we try to lower those costs. So you pay for amount of calls and the amount of volume you want to do. That's
Okay, so
why the more volume you have and the more you want to try, the better it is for us.
okay. Um, so 10,000 calls a month, that's about uh,
That's
30 a day, if we count all 30 days of the month, or about five,
yes,
excuse me, 300 a day if we count every day of the month, or about 500 a day if we count only weekdays. Yeah, only work days. Um, so so yeah, basically for any like medium-sized call center and above, they're probably getting enough calls. Uh,
exactly.
okay, so you don't need to be gigantic to for this to make sense.
Yeah, as long as you have like a call center and you probably want to be more efficient and you have a really huge backlog and like calls all over and you don't know how to take care of them without needing to hire more people, training them, we take care of all of that.
Okay. Um, what? So how long has it been deployed here in the US, uh, in the PNC space? So you started building the company 18 months ago, but how long has it actually been like the product live?
We have been live since March with some of our clients. We entered to Y Combinator, and from that we were able to start working into different POCs with some of the clients. So right now we're about to launch the project with some of them, and some of them are already active.
Fantastic. So like hot off the press, basically, live for the last 2 months, the latest technology. Um, what are the clients saying? What kind of feedback are are they given?
Yeah. So the first part is latency. So what latency means is the amount of time that I tell you something, the waiting time until I receive a response from the bot. Right now we have
Mm.
that that it's measured in milliseconds, and we have that in 500 milliseconds. And as human interactions, that goes from like 300 milliseconds, like 200 some of the times. We are trying really hard to lower those milliseconds so the interactions feels as like human human life, like as like really human. Because and the way we're testing that is by putting literally bots talking to themselves so they get better and faster and they understand the context better. That's one of the feedback. Then the other feedback is when are the models of deploying the calls going to be cheaper? And right now ChatGPT and like all these models are launching different text-to-speech models. So we are always trying to be up first to knowing which models suits better to make the calls really good quality as we can. We are always trying to get the best technology, and we have our own infrastructure to use the best models. Um, so we are working on that side, and we know for a fact that costs are gonna go lower as technology keeps going better, and we know better what is happening
Mhm.
inside the bot.
All right. Right now, is it English only, or if we do have needs for Spanish or Portuguese, or
Yeah, no, we manage more than 30 languages, so it's
fantastic.
any language, so English, Spanish. Actually, I was talking to a client today that wants to do Portuguese, so we already have a trained voice in Portuguese. Um, and different accents also. So we have New York accent, San Francisco accent. And that's what also works better because we A/B test with different voices, different accents to know what works better to their customers.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So very exciting that you're in the process of deploying. Um, are there things that coming in the future, let's say in the next year or two, that are not ready, but that you can already talk about, that you're excited about? Like what's in the future of the product?
In the future of the product right now, we're working to have the best model that suits the financial services. Um, and that's something we're trying really hard to be just focusing on. So because we know there's a lot of people doing voice AI agents and like everyone is doing this, but what makes us unique is that we only focus on knowing our industry with which is banks and insurance companies. And basically, we are really good at like flagging, testing the system, doing different interactions. So the more we learn, like if I see the product like about 3 months ago and what where we are at right now, we keep adding features to our product to flag the calls. What is the data telling us? And using that data to make our product better, I think is what excites us the most because the more we work closely and fast with our clients, the more we know about them and what their clients want. So actually, what really serves us the most is to get to know the clients because we are like kind of like a consultancy. We really like try to do a product just to suit your needs and how you talk to your customers and like good win talk. So we mainly try to be like as personalized as you want. And the only way we do that is by working really closely. And we're like super obsessed with knowing that our clients are happy, knowing how can we know their customers better, and at the end, just using the data to suit needs and understand better. Because as right now, it's really hard. There's a lot of data, but you probably don't know how to use that data. You don't know what is happening. Why is people not buying? What is our product missing? What do people have questions on? And it's really interesting with one of our clients, they were like, I didn't know, for example, that it was not clear that we don't offer right now services in San Francisco. So now we are the provider and the one who's giving insights. To make their product even better. So at the end, it's a win-win of a scaling and and what excites me the most is revolutionizing the industry of insurance and making it just like accessible to most of the customers, which is like sometimes a pain to just get an insurance policy.
Oh yeah, constant complaint that yes, agreed. Fantastic, Isabella. Thank you so much for your time today. Um, Love to see this getting deployed in the US PNC space, um, because this is really interesting technology. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me. And if you're a broker, if you're a carrier, if you're managing call centers and don't know what to do with the amount of calls, feel free to book a call. Feel free to like send us a script and we will do a demo for you so you can try it out.
Okay, so the demo can be customized to my script.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.